Most people dream of success, wealth, and leaving a legacy, but few realize that Julius Caesar, one of history's greatest leaders, holds powerful insights that can help us achieve exactly that. But what exactly did Caesar know about ambition, wealth, and leadership that transformed him from an ordinary Roman into a legend? In just a moment, you'll discover a powerful principle Caesar used, one that can completely reshape how you approach your own ambitions. Picture this: Rome, around 100 BC, a place filled with political rivalries, power struggles, and endless ambition. Julius Caesar wasn't born into extraordinary privilege. He wasn't handed his legacy on a silver platter. Instead, he created it through ruthless determination, sharp strategy, and extraordinary clarity of purpose. So, what was his secret? Surprisingly, Caesar's rise had less to do with traditional Roman strength and more to do with his unique mindset. A mindset driven by unstoppable ambition, strategic planning, and an unwavering ability to lead. But here's the twist: Caesar wasn't just ambitious. He had mastered the art of making others believe in his vision, a skill that propelled him to unprecedented heights. Imagine what you could achieve if you harnessed this same power. Now ask yourself honestly, are you clear about your ultimate ambition? Do you truly know what wealth and success look like for you, or are you chasing someone else's vision? Caesar understood something most of us don't. True wealth comes not from chasing superficial goals, but from aligning ambition with purpose. By the time Caesar became consul, he had already visualized every step along the path. Can you say the same? Let's pause for a second. I'm Saul, by the way, and like you, I've been fascinated by Caesar's life and the timeless lessons we can draw from his story. Today, I'm going to break down how Caesar's principles can help you lead powerfully, achieve financial abundance, and master your ambitions, no matter where you're starting from. But here's something intriguing. Caesar wasn't afraid of controversy. In fact, he welcomed it. He knew that standing out, taking risks, and confronting opposition were essential steps toward greatness. Have you ever shied away from a risky decision because you feared failure or criticism? Well, Caesar's philosophy can radically shift your perspective on risk-taking. In just a few minutes, I'll reveal the precise method Caesar used to turn opposition into opportunity, a technique you can apply immediately to your own life. Consider this: Caesar didn't just seize opportunities, he created them. When he famously crossed the Rubicon River, it wasn't impulsive. It was calculated, a masterstroke of strategic leadership. What if you could consistently create your own opportunities rather than waiting for them to appear? Caesar's example proves it's not only possible, it's essential. But how exactly do you do it? Here's where it gets fascinating. Caesar's wealth wasn't just financial. It was also deeply tied to his leadership abilities. He attracted powerful allies, inspired unwavering loyalty, and built an unstoppable network. This wasn't luck, it was strategy. Imagine the heights you could reach if you knew exactly how to build powerful relationships that amplify your success. Are you ready to discover Caesar's precise strategies for cultivating these influential relationships? And what about handling setbacks? Most of us stumble at the first sign of difficulty, but Caesar viewed setbacks as critical opportunities for growth. After every obstacle, he emerged stronger, wiser, and even more determined. How did Caesar maintain his unshakable resilience? And more importantly, how can you develop the same mental toughness? I'm about to share with you the powerful principle Caesar lived by, one that modern entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos still use today. But before I reveal that, Ask yourself, do you really understand how ambition, wealth, and leadership connect? Because if you don't, achieving lasting success will always feel just out of reach. Here's the truth. Ambition without strategy is just dreaming. Wealth without leadership is fleeting. Caesar knew this intimately, and it's time you did too. The secret is simpler than you might think, but its impact can be extraordinary. In just a moment, I'll explain exactly what this secret is and how you can apply it immediately. But first, consider this one final question. Are you ready to learn how Julius Caesar's lessons on ambition, wealth, and leadership can transform your life? If you are, stay tuned, because what you're about to discover is powerful enough to change everything. Here's the core truth Caesar understood deeply. True success in ambition, wealth, and leadership depends entirely on your ability to master the principle of clarity combined with decisive action. It might sound deceptively simple, but Caesar's entire life, every triumph, every legendary achievement, stemmed from this precise formula. Let's break it down clearly. Caesar began every campaign with crystal clear clarity about his ultimate vision, and then he moved decisively toward it. There were no hesitations, no second guessing. But here's the shocking part. Caesar understood that imperfect action taken decisively is far more valuable than perfect action delayed. Think about that. How often have you hesitated to act because you weren't sure it was the perfect moment or the perfect plan? This hesitation has likely cost you countless opportunities already. Now picture what your life would look like if you consistently acted with Caesar's decisive clarity. How much closer would you be to achieving financial freedom, building unstoppable leadership skills, or finally realizing your greatest ambitions? But to reach that point, you need to understand exactly how Caesar trained himself to act decisively, even in the face of uncertainty. Fortunately, there are proven ways you can develop this skill too, and I'm about to share them. Caesar relied on a powerful mental discipline inspired by Stoicism, a philosophy emphasizing clear-headed thinking, emotional resilience, and relentless self-control. Stoicism taught Caesar not to fear setbacks, criticism, or temporary failures. Instead, he used these obstacles as fuel to strengthen his resolve. Every challenge Caesar faced became a tool that sharpened his mind and deepened his commitment. Imagine turning your obstacles into stepping stones towards success. Imagine the momentum you'd build if setbacks no longer discouraged you, but instead propelled you forward. But how do you practically apply Caesar's Stoic mindset to your daily life? Simple. First, always distinguish clearly between what's within your control and what isn't. Caesar never wasted energy worrying about factors outside his control. Only what he could directly influence mattered. Second, embrace setbacks willingly, viewing them as essential training rather than threats. Finally, cultivate a consistent habit of decisive action, because clarity is meaningless without the courage to act boldly. Here's something extraordinary. Julius Caesar's timeless lessons aren't relics of the past. They're actively used by the world's most successful leaders today. Entrepreneurs like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and countless influential leaders apply Caesar's exact principles of clarity, decisive action, and emotional resilience to build massive wealth, incredible influence, and lasting legacies. Why shouldn't you do the same? If Caesar's mindset could transform an ordinary Roman citizen into one of history's greatest leaders, imagine what it could do for you. But perhaps you're wondering, how do you get started right now? Here's the precise way to begin. Tonight, take a few quiet moments and define clearly what true success looks like for you. Not for others, but specifically for you. Get crystal clear about your ambition, wealth goals, and the kind of leader you aspire to become. Write it down, visualize it, and commit fully. Tomorrow, start taking decisive action, no matter how small. Every small step forward strengthens your clarity, builds your confidence, and moves you closer to your own legendary legacy. Remember, Caesar wasn't born a legend. He became one through disciplined clarity, decisive action, and unwavering emotional strength. His lessons on ambition, wealth, and leadership have stood the test of time precisely because they work. Now the only question is, will you apply them? So the next time you're faced with a critical decision or hesitation, ask yourself, what would Caesar do? The answer will always be clear. Get precise, get decisive, and take action immediately. Adopt Caesar's Stoic mindset, and success isn't just probable, it's inevitable.